So let's move on to the next question, guys. In this question, we are given that there are a group of 12 students in total, right? Out of which we have to select two different children, right? We are also given that the probability that both the students who have been selected are girls, that is greater than 1 by 2. So the probability that both the students selected will be girls is greater than 1 by 2, and we have to tell that there must be at least how many girls in total out of those 12 students, right? Okay, perfect. So tell me one thing, that we know that there are total 12 students, right? There are a total of 12 students. So tell me, and let's assume that, for example, the number of girls is equals to X. We don't know how many girls are there. Let's assume the number of girls are X, right? So tell me one thing, if we have to select two students out of the total number of 12 students, how many possible ways are there? The number of possible ways is 12C2, right? So basically, whenever we have to select a certain number of people from a group of people, what we do is C, right? For example, there are total, let's say, X people, right? And we have to select supposedly Y people out of them, right? Supposedly there are X people and we have to select Y people out of it. So what we do is XCY. I mean, I think we all have studied this in high school and stuff. So if I go on explaining why this exactly is in very detail, I think that will not be possible. But I'm sure this is pretty basic, right? And from an exam point of view, this should be pretty good. I mean, good enough. So XCY is what you get if you have to select Y people out of X people, right? And what is XCY? XCY is X factorial upon Y factorial X minus Y factorial. So this is XCY, X factorial upon Y factorial X minus Y factorial. This is XCY, right? And I'm sure you know what factorial is, right? What is 4 factorial? 4 factorial is 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So basically you take this number and you multiply it up till 1. For example, what is 7 factorial? 7 factorial is 7 into 6 into 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, right? So this is 7 factorial. I hope all of this is very basic, right? So XCY is X factorial upon Y factorial and X minus Y factorial, right? Okay. So now tell me one thing, right? So total people X, select people Y, so XCY, right? Again, similarly, there are a total of 12 students, right? And the total number of girls is X. But we know we have to select two children out of it, right? So how many ways can we select two children out of 12 students? That becomes 12C2. These are the total number of ways where two children can be selected out of all the 12 children, right? Okay. And tell me one thing, there are total X girls, right? And we have to select two girls, right? So how do we select two girls out of all the girls? That will be XC2. I hope this also makes pretty good sense. So what is X? X are the total number of girls. We have to select two girls. So XC2. 12 are the total students, girls plus boys, and we have to select two people out of it. So that is 12C2, right? Now we are given that the probability that both the students are girls. So what is the probability? The probability becomes XC2 upon 12C2. I hope this makes pretty good sense. So probability is a total number. What is the total number? 12C2. The total number of ways we can select two people, that is 12C2. But what we want is both should be girls, right? Both should be girls means XC2, where X are the number of girls. I hope this makes pretty good sense. This is given to be greater than 1 upon 2, right? This is given to be greater than 1 upon 2. Now, if we go on solving this, so xc2 is greater than 12c2 into 1 upon 2, right? I hope this makes pretty good sense. Now, tell me what is 12c2? So 12c2 is equals to 12 factorial upon 2 factorial 10 factorial, right? 12 factorial upon 2 factorial, 12 minus 2, 10 factorial, right? Okay. Now tell me one thing, what is 12 factorial? So 12 factorial can be written as 12 into 11 into 10 factorial, right? I hope this is also pretty basic. Why? Because what is 12 factorial? 12 factorial is 12 into 11 into 10 into 9 into 8 into 7 into 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, right? So basically 10 into 9 into 8 into 7 into 6 into 5 up till 1, you can substitute that as 10 factorial, right? So you can write 12 factorial as 12 into 11 into 10 factorial. And why did we do that? Because we know that over here there is a 10 factorial. That is why we bring 10 factorial in this form. So basically, what does this become? This basically becomes 12 factorial. We can write as 12 into 11 into 10 factorial, right? Upon 2 factorial into 10 factorial. I hope this makes complete sense. So if you cancel 10 factorial, 10 factorial, what is 2 factorial? 2 factorial is nothing but 2, because 2 factorial is 2 into 1. So 2 factorial is 2, right? So 2 6 is 12. So this comes out to be 66. This comes out to be 66, right? So 12c2 is 66, right? So what does this become? This basically becomes xc2 is greater than 66 into 1 upon 2. That means xc2 is greater than 33. I hope this is also pretty basic, makes complete sense, right? Okay. Now tell me one thing, we have to find the value of x, right? This is the equation that we have got. For example, let's put x is equals to 7, for example, right? Or actually we have all these four options over here, right? Let's put x is equals to 6. Let's put 6 over here. So we get 6c2, right? Now tell me one thing, what is 6c2? 6c2 is 6 factorial upon 2 factorial, 6 minus 2, 4 factorial, right? So this becomes 6 into 5 into 4 factorial upon 2 factorial, 4 factorial, you cut 4 factorial, you get 3, you get 15, right? But we know that 15 is not greater than 33. 15 is less than 33. So obviously 6 cannot be possible. I hope this makes sense, right? Okay. Now, for example, let's take 8, right? So 8c2, what is 8c2? 8 factorial upon 2 factorial, 6 factorial. This becomes 8 into 7 upon 2 factorial, like into 6 factorial upon 6 factorial, 8 into 7 into 6 factorial upon 2 factorial, 6 factorial. I mean, all of this is pretty basic solving, so I'm not wasting a lot of time. So 28, you get 28, right? And 28 is again less than 33. So 8 is also not possible, right? So let's take 9 over here now. So 9c2, what is 9c2? 9 factorial upon 2 factorial, 7 factorial. So 9 into 8 upon 2, which is how much? 36, right? And definitely 36 is greater than 33, which means it is completely valid. That means 9 becomes your answer. So there must be at least how many girls? There must be at least 9 girls out of total 12 people or 12 students, right? So I hope this should be pretty clear, not a difficult question at all, pretty basic, and I hope there should be no confusion.